Now at 9, police in Webb City investigate a suspicious device found at a gas station. Plus, a look at the history of one of the oldest cemeteries in the Joplin area. And the Carthage School Board discusses changes to the salary and benefits package for bus drivers.
The 4 states' most watched news starts now.
Thank you for joining us tonight. I'm Tanya Bach. Police in Webb City have given an all-clear alert after investigating a suspicious device. The device was discovered this morning at the Murphy USA gas station on South Madison. A portion of the parking lot was closed off by police, but other surrounding businesses remained open and were unaffected. Webb City police requested aid from the bomb squad of the Springfield Fire Department, who determined the device was not a threat. Chief Meteorologist Doug Hetty joins us this evening with a first look at your forecast.
Yeah, it turned out to be a great Monday for us today. A little bit warmer than what we saw over the weekend. During the weekend, we had highs upper 50s to near 60 degrees. 65 for us today. Cool start, 39, and a little bit below our average high of 71 degrees. And we are dropping back now. It's 49 in Nevada, 50 in Neosho, Welch, 49. We have 48 in Chinook, but nothing's going on. We have clear skies, the entire Central Plains. We have clear skies. Our next storm system is building out across the Pacific Northwest, but that's still a couple days away. As we go through the night, we're going to be clear. Another chilly one. We drop back to about 39, so 47 by 11, back to 54 by 10 a.m. And as we go down the road, a little bit of a warming trend. Also, the winds are going to pick up just a bit. We have another cold front to talk about, which rolls in on Wednesday. I'm going to give you all those details here in just a bit.
All right, thanks, Doug. Fall can mean increased deer sightings in the 4 states, and that can mean an increase in deer collisions. Insurance experts say claims for collisions with deer rise during the fall, which is mating season. They also say there are simple ways to reduce your chances of a deer collision.
Number 1, have your high beam headlights on as much as possible after dark. That gives you a longer range of vision. Number 2, hit your horn if possible. Number 3, hit your brakes if possible. One thing you don't want to do, and this sounds kind of odd, but you don't want to swerve to avoid the deer, because what you could be doing is either swerving into oncoming traffic or swerving off the road into a situation that's more harmful for your vehicle and possibly you.
Oklahoma leads the 4 states with the highest average chance of hitting a deer, followed by Kansas, Missouri, and then Arkansas. The Carthage Square today was full of big rigs. It's part of the Maple Leaf Festival. Folks had the chance to get up and close to the trucks and equipment vehicles and climb inside. Officials say it's a way for the community to learn more about these trucks and which are vital to our economy.
Inaugural Maple Leaf Festival Touch a Truck event. We are so excited to have so many families and kids out here really getting an up close and personal look at service trucks and semis, the horns honking. It's so much fun and a great way for kids to just enjoy the evening because it's so beautiful out.
The Maple Leaf Festival will run through Saturday with events including a carnival, parade, and a tractor show. Well, unique volunteer opportunity that both honors the past and the future. KOAM's Amber Jenkins introduces us to a caretaker who's looking for help to bring a cemetery back to life.
All different types of people that are buried here. Rich, poor, black, white.
Roughly 1,400 stories, lessons, and lives lived lies underneath the ground. Caretaker Jim Beeler says he doesn't want the history to become forgotten history.
It has a lot of history as the beginnings before Joplin was ever here. And when you're looking at the 1840s, Joplin didn't come in until 1873.
Preservation is exactly why Peace Church Cemetery is inviting the community to take a tour and listen to stories behind the headstones. The hope? To inspire more volunteers like Doris Berryhill.
We've had ladies come out here. Matter of fact, one of our board members, she was 85 years old. She just passed away recently, and she was out here every 2 weeks doing something here at the cemetery. This was one of her best things, Doris Berryhill.
Beeler says supplies, donations, and volunteers like Berryhill keeps the cemetery alive.
Individuals that would want to volunteer, it takes about an hour every 2 weeks, so it's not a whole long time. We don't want people out here getting overheated or breaking their neck to try to maintain the spots.
Reporting in Jasper County, Amber Jenkins, KOAM News.
Peace Church Cemetery's historic tour will be held at 10 a.m. and 2 p.m. on Saturday. Well, students in Pittsburgh today got out of the classroom. Parent-teacher conferences canceled classes, so the Parks and Rec Department hosted its Camp Now and Then. It's a chance for kids to play games, create crafts, and make new friends.
We're licensed by the Kansas Department of Health and Environment, so we do a lot of activities with them where they're educational. They can learn while they're having a good time. You know, during the summer we do field trips. They go to the pool 2 times a week, so it's a program where they can learn and have a good time.
The camp is open for the community anytime the school district is not having classes. It's hosted at the Lincoln Center at Lincoln Park. The Carthage School District held a Board of Education meeting tonight at the Columbian Elementary School. The school district has been working on new benefits and salary packages for bus transportation. The goals of the new packages would be to increase trip pay, offer medical benefits and retirement benefits with hopes to provide a more fiscally stable financial plan. This change would also increase the hours of the drivers, which is causing a stir among bus drivers in the school district.
On the transportation side, we're going to be talking about new salary schedules, one that possibly offers benefits. We want to get that, really there's 2 phases of that. One would be for our brand new recruits that we'd bring into the program. The other side is trying to figure out how can we adjust our current salary schedule to accommodate our current drivers, the salary schedule we're on, and what a future salary schedule might look like that includes benefits.
The new rules are drastically going to affect every bus driver. We're all going to take a pay cut. It's easy math. You don't have to go to school for that math.
And the school board will review the item and vote at the next school board meeting. Coming up, it's Breast Cancer Awareness Month, and we'll have ways you can support those who are fighting the disease. CDC says roughly 240,000 women in the U.S. are diagnosed with breast cancer every year. And during Breast Cancer Awareness Month, advocates and health experts say it's critical patients, survivors, and their caretakers get the support they need. Fox News' Ted Linder takes a look at how you can lend a helping hand.
1 foot in front of the other. Thousands of people across the country continue marching to support breast cancer patients and survivors fighting for a cure.
The love, support, the energy, it's just amazing.
October marks Breast Cancer Awareness Month. The disease is the second most common cancer among women in the U.S., behind some kinds of skin cancer, according to the CDC. It's also the most expensive cancer to fight, making up 14% of all cancer treatment costs.
Thousands of breast cancer patients are forced to choose between paying their mortgage and paying for medication.
But while the American Cancer Society finds the rate of breast cancer deaths has been declining for more than 30 years, medical experts say the statistics don't stop many survivors from being overwhelmed with fear their cancer will return.
Fear of cancer recurrence is one of the most prevalent, persistent, and disruptive sources of distress for cancer survivors.
Shelley Johns of Indiana University School of Medicine says those worries are more severe for younger survivors.
Approximately 50% of breast cancer survivors have moderate to severe levels of fear of recurrence that can really disrupt their social, cognitive, emotional, and physical functioning.
John says it's important to know that this fear is normal and recommends breast cancer survivors talk to their doctors about their risk of recurrence and ways they can reduce it. In moments where fear can impact happiness, John says survivors should also speak to a trusted therapist and engage in hobbies to help them refocus their mind. Ted Lindner, Fox News.
First Lady Jill Biden gives encouraging words for families affected by cancer. Dr. Biden delivered the keynote speech at a cancer survivorship summit. That happened today at Nova Southeast University in Davie, Florida, north of Miami. First Lady spoke about how cancer hits home for the first family.
When Joe and I lost our son Bo to brain cancer, we decided to turn our pain into purpose by helping other families like ours. We wanted to stop other parents and siblings and spouses and children from having to know this terrible loss.
The Biden family rebooted the cancer moonshot last year. It was first introduced in 2016 by then Vice President Joe Biden with the goal of speeding up the rate of progress against cancer. Doug is next with a complete look at your forecast. And later we'll hear from Missouri Southern as the Lions look to get back in the win column this week against a winless Lincoln team.
Well, it turned out to be a fantastic Monday for us today. We had plenty of sunshine across the region. Temperatures great as we went into the mid-60s for afternoon highs. Clear skies for us right now, and this is really what we're going to see as we go through the overnight hours for us tonight. Nice shot. Indigo Sky Casino and Resort, of course. Indigo is just on the southwest side of Seneca, Missouri. All right, so let's look at our fall foliage. Where we are at right now, so roughly October 18th, we are in our partial foliage. But as we get into about the next week or so, we get near our peak, and then we should be right at our peak, right at the beginning of November. So that first week of November is when we peak. Our leaves look the best around here. All right, 47 Stockton, 50 at Grand Lake. We have 47 in Iola. Let's go outside. 7th and Rangeline sitting at 49. Winds are pretty much calm. Visibility is great. As we go through the night, we drop back near 40. Once again, we start the day sunny, back up to 55 by about the noon hour. All right, clear skies. Not too much is going on here. We can look across the entire Central Plains. We just have a few little random clouds to our north. But here's our next storm system out across the Pacific Northwest. If you follow the arrows, it will drop in, but it's not going to have a lot of moisture. But it will give us some clouds, maybe a random shower or two as we go through the week. You can see it slides in. So here's Tuesday into Wednesday. It works in, and then it passes on by, and then we still have this big ridge out toward the west. So we don't have any big storm systems moving in as we go through this week, but we'll have better chances for rain by the time we get into next week. All right, let me step you through the next 48 hours, 39 or 40. Early in the morning, we're going to warm into the mid-60s by the noon hour. You can see a southwesterly wind, and then most of us about 69 for an afternoon high, maybe 70 in some spots. Some clouds work in tomorrow night, not as chilly. We drop back into the upper 40s for overnight lows, and then Wednesday with our weak cold front. So we get some clouds in here. We're still going to go into lower 70s for highs. But with these clouds, we may see a random shower or two by Wednesday morning. And then looks like Thursday and Friday will be shaping up pretty good. All right, here's your day planner tomorrow. 47 by 9, 66 by 1, upper 60s for highs, plenty of sunshine once again. And the winds will start to pick up just a little bit. We'll get southerly winds tomorrow with gusts kind of near 20, maybe a little bit higher by the time we head into Wednesday. All right, let's go 69 tomorrow, 75 on Wednesday, 71 on Thursday. Friday, Saturday, Sunday all look great. And then chances for showers and thunderstorms. Better chances increase for us next week. But temperatures through the next 10 days look great.
Yeah, can't complain about that.
Not at all.
Get what you need done this week because it looks like we got some chances of rain next week.
Could be fairly heavy too.
I'm just throwing my pen around over here. Yeah. All right, thanks, Doug. Well, coming up, the House at a standstill.
The House still has no speaker. That means no votes on any legislation, including Ukraine, Israel, or keeping the government open. But that could soon change. I'm Caroline Shively in Washington. I'll have that story coming up.
Good news for drivers in the 4 states. Gas prices look to be on their way down. The national average now sits at $3.60, a full 20 cents more than the highest 4-state average, which is Kansas at $3.41. Now, Missouri is next at $3.27, then Oklahoma at $3.26, and Arkansas with the lowest at $3.18. Gas prices may be even lower in some area counties. Crawford sits at $3.38, Ottawa County at $3.09, and Jasper County at $3 per gallon. Inflation woes are forcing Americans to rethink their holiday travel plans. Many travelers are now considering a car instead of a plane to their destination. Despite costs, more people expect to travel this year than in 2022. Mike Valerio has more.
The holiday season is quickly approaching, and inflation is impacting travel options for many Americans. A new survey from Bankrate found most travelers are looking for ways to take a trip without breaking the bank.
77% of holiday travelers are making adjustments, but they don't want to skip the trip entirely. They're willing to drive instead of fly. They're willing to stay in cheaper accommodations or pick cheaper activities.
Bankrate senior industry analyst Ted Rossman says you may find deals if you have flexible travel days.
Could you go earlier? Could you stay later? If you're willing to fly the morning of Thanksgiving, that actually might be a big cost savings opportunity. And hopefully you still get there in time for the family dinner.
And make your money work for you.
Take stock of your rewards points and miles, whether it's cashback credit card rewards or airline miles or hotel points. You may be sitting on more value than you realize.
Another concern for travelers, flight delays and cancellations, especially after a rough holiday travel season last year. But you can book with a credit card that has strong travel insurance protections.
A lot of cards will include these at no added cost, and they help with everything from damaged rental cars to canceled or delayed flights, lost or delayed luggage.
Just a few steps you can take to make sure your holidays are as happy and stress-free as possible. For Consumer Watch, I'm Mike Valerio.
Up next, we take a look at what some of the most popular Halloween candies are, according to Instacart. Halloween is just around the corner, and Instacart is sharing data on some of the most popular candies. The grocery delivery service examined data on the type of candies sold on its site last October. It found chocolate and peanut butter items are a fan favorite, with Reese's Peanut Butter Cups coming in first place. Used to be my favorite. Peanut M&Ms and classic M&Ms were not far behind. The fruity flavors of Sour Patch Kids came in at 7th place, while Starburst came in at 10th. I personally prefer the fruity flavors now. 30 more minutes of news, weather, and sports is coming your way. We'll hear from some Kansas City residents who came out over the weekend to show support for people of Palestine. Plus, how votes are looking after another meeting to find a new House Speaker. Tonight. Hundreds of people over the weekend gathered at Mill Creek Park in Kansas City to show support for the Palestinian people amid escalating violence there. Grace Smith spoke with some of the rallygoers.
Many Palestinians out here rallying today told me they are fighting for basic human rights for their people and for peace. One man telling me that his family has died during this war, and the ones who are alive have been stripped of everything.
Before the situation started, things were horrible. Can you imagine how things are right now?
Free, free Palestine!
Free, free Palestine! Dr. Muhammad Oda was born and raised in Gaza and moved to Kansas City years ago.
I still have 6 siblings with all of their kids and grandkids. All of them are currently right now in Gaza.
Thankfully, Oda says as far as he knows, they're okay, but with no resources.
No water, no electricity, no nothing.
But he says some of his cousins weren't so lucky, saying one of their homes collapsed before they could evacuate.
It is heart-wrenching.
And now he says he's lost all form of communication.
Because the internet went down and what have you, so we're trying to the best we can to learn something and to know how they're doing.
People are suffocating. They are in the worst of situations, in the worst of conditions, and they're constantly then bombarded by these types of military attacks.
That's why Fatima Mohadami, the community organizer with Al Hadaf KC, says they're standing for those who can't.
What's happening on the ground is that people are being slaughtered and that they are civilians who are being slaughtered, most of which are women and children.
She says this is a global human rights issue and they're not trying to get into politics, but to simply protest the ongoing 75-year occupation of Palestine.
I want them to know that the situation is not nearly as complicated as they may think that it is. If they're stepping into it and they're confused, but they don't really know which side, there are no sides in human rights.
As for Oda, he's waiting to hear back from his family and calling for peace.
I urge everyone that wants to listen there is to give peace a chance. Give them their legitimate rights. That's all what it takes. I don't know what else I could say.
Israel has signaled its ground invasion of Gaza could come at any moment with a mission to destroy Hamas in the wake of the terror group's brutal attack last week. Israel's military says nearly 200 hostages are being held in Gaza, more than previously reported. U.S. Secretary of State Antony Blinken returned to Israel today following a diplomatic mission this weekend in the region. The federal government will no longer be allowed to separate migrant families if a federal court approves a new settlement. The deal was reached between the Biden administration and the ACLU today. It forbids any families from being separated for an 8-year period, except in limited circumstances like when someone has committed a serious felony. The settlement also sets up support for families who were previously separated but does not provide monetary compensation. House Judiciary Chairman Jim Jordan wants a promotion to House Speaker, and by all accounts, he's been working hard all weekend for it. It's an uphill battle, and he's yet to convince all his fellow House Republicans to support him on a floor vote tomorrow. Fox News correspondent Caroline Shively reports from Washington.
Sir, how did your meetings go this weekend?
Very good. Jim Jordan's confident.
And how do you feel about the support from Rogers?
That's great. After a weekend of gaining backing from some key Republicans to be the next House Speaker. It's still far from a sure thing. The Ohio congressman will need support from nearly every Republican in the House to get the job. But some centrists don't like his far-right politics and slash-and-burn style.
Jordan's working right now to put that coalition together to get to 217.
Democrats point out until the House has a speaker, there can be no votes on a bill to hold off a government shutdown next month or on packages to help Ukraine and Israel.
We want to reopen the House and get to a place where we can tackle the challenges that are in front of us.
But some Jordan supporters say, calm down.
I find it a little ridiculous, right? Like, oh no, the world is ending because the House of Representatives isn't passing ceremonial resolutions this week.
While most of the voting and negotiating has been behind closed doors, Jordan could force a roll call vote on the House floor Tuesday and put Republicans who oppose him on the record, something many have been hoping to avoid. In Washington, Caroline Shively, Fox News.
A bit later, issues are racking up at Disney.
It's called the happiest place on earth, and as Disney celebrates its 100th birthday, there are some big challenges facing the House of Mouse. I'll have that story right after the break.
Well, it turned out to be a great day for us today after a chilly weekend, but a nice one. Monday, we kick off the work week looking pretty good as well. Temperatures fantastic. Most of us into the mid 60s during the afternoon. We've cooled off down to 46 in Stockton, 50 in Cassville. We're at 49 in Miami. We have Parsons sitting at 43 degrees. If we go outside, here's 7th, here's range line. 49, winds are pretty much calm. Visibility is good at 10 miles, and we're going to drop back near 40 later on tonight, rebounding to 55 with sunshine as we go into the morning hours. All right, clear skies here. Entire Central Plains look pretty good. We have a couple little clouds out to our west. Here's our next storm system that will start to affect us as we go into the middle of the week. And if you follow the arrows, it's going to drop right in. It just doesn't have much in the way of moisture as it pushes in, so you can watch it kind of drop into the Central Plains. It will bring a weak cold front through, maybe a couple showers, and that is just about it. As it passes by, not a whole bunch happening. You can see a ridge of high pressure. So our week this week is fairly calm, fairly quiet, and then things get going again as we get into next week. All right, by morning, 39 Nevada, 39 Neosho, 38 in Welch, down to 36 in Iola. We'll warm into low to mid 60s by noon. Most of us 70, 69-ish for an afternoon high for us tomorrow. Tomorrow night, not as chilly. Few clouds. We drop back into the upper 40s, and then clouds thicken, especially Wednesday afternoon. High temps into lower 70s, but we are going to have a cold front, so by 4:30 p.m., here's our front, and it drops through. We may get a few light little showers with it as it passes on by, but besides that, it's just going to give us clouds, and then we'll start Thursday off into the upper 40s once again. All right, day planner for you Tuesday. Let's go 42 at 7, 60 by 11, 68 by 3. We'll drop back to 60 by 7. Clear skies all day long, but the winds slowly start to pick up. We could get some gusts, kind of 15 to 20 for us tomorrow afternoon, and then some wind gusts pushing 30 by the time we head into Wednesday afternoon. So we'll keep our eyes on that. All right, let's go into Thursday. Behind that weak little system, still temperature is pretty good as we go into lower 70, so near 70 on Thursday. Friday looks good, sunny skies, lower 70s again. And then we head into the weekend, we get fantastic weather. So we get a really nice stretch of fall-like weather over the next several days. 69 for us tomorrow, 75 on Wednesday, a few evening little sprinkles. 71 Thursday, 72s. Friday and Saturday. Warming up a little bit Sunday into Monday. Rain chances back in as we go into next week.
Okay. Well, can't complain. It's going to be a wonderful week.
Yeah, overall, looks
and
pretty good.
Weekend, too.
Yeah.
Maple Leaf Parade on Saturday.
There
Should
you
be
go.
great. All right, thanks, Doug. Well, coming up in sports, the Pittsburgh State Gorillas move up in the rankings in the latest coaches poll. And 4 local Missouri softball teams are playing for a district championship. Brock Baldridge breaks down the matchups next in sports.
The Missouri Southern Lions are coming off of a tough home loss against their rivals Pittsburgh State. Lions will now hit the road versus a winless Lincoln team, and that's not stopping Southern from taking their opponent seriously.
The difference of preparing for a Pittsburgh or preparing for a Lincoln really just it lies on us, our attitude, our demeanor, and we got to make sure they're the same, because you guys know how momentum is, you guys know how teams are. If you let a team hang around, if you mess around and, we're just going to go out, you'll mess around and get embarrassed. And so we got to make sure that we're dialed in and got a good game plan for them.
It's always different going on away games. You have things you don't plan for sometimes, but I think it's going to be nice to get away from Joplin for a little bit, go see a new field. We haven't been there in 2 years, and I think we're going to try to execute the best we can.
Let's check out the latest AFCA coaches poll. If you missed it, #1 overall ranked team in the country, Ferris State, who Pitt State fans are far familiar with, lost to Grand Valley State on Saturday, which means we have a new top-ranked team in the country, and that is the #1 ranked team, Colorado School of Mines. Pittsburgh State moves up to #2 in the country. Other teams in the MIAA that are ranked include Central Missouri at 16 and Emporia State at 24. Well, postseason high school softball rolls on here in Southwest Missouri. We still have a handful of teams in our local viewing area that are alive to win a district championship tonight. Neosho versus Ray Peck. The Class 5 District 7 title game. Winner will move on to the state quarterfinals on Saturday. This game was a pitcher's duel in the first 3 innings. Kelsey Donaldson was in the circle. Man, she was tough to bring down. 17 strikeouts tonight. The sophomore lefty wasn't making it easy on anyone. On the other side, Neosho's Carly Kennard was right there with her. Both pitchers dueling it out all night long. Kennard finished the second inning here with a swing and a miss. Neosho still looking to break through with the bats, though. But in the third, Wildcats are going to get a great defensive play here by Becklin Garrett. Diving stop, throw to first is in time. Big confidence boost there. It's bottom of the 4th now, still scoreless. Runners on, Hayden Kurtz singles up the middle. The throw at home is not in time, but great awareness by the catcher. Autumn Kennard gets the runner out 3rd. So top of the 7th, Neosho trails 5-0. Got to get on base here. Kelsey Donaldson shuts the door, and she shuts out Neosho. Ray Peck beats Neosho 5-0 to end the Wildcats season. Elsewhere tonight, the Class 4 District 7 softball title game between Nevada and Webb City. Second inning, scoreless game. Addie Brown at the plate. She crushes it. Goodbye home run. 2-run jack. Lady Cards lead it 2-0. Top of the third now. Dawson Decker at the plate. Hits this one to left field. Tigers can't field it cleanly. That's going to let Kylie Sargent score. And right behind her is Alex Maturino. 4-0 Webb City. Sixth inning now. Addie Burns pitching for Webb City, but that's a wild pitch. Helps Kanaya Johnson score to get the third score of the inning for Nevada. Looking for the comeback here. Tigers looking now to tie. Hope Harding gives us a ride to right field. It's going to stay in the park, and Kylie Johnson will score from third base. We're now tied, and we go to extra innings. So bottom of the ninth, Tigers at bat, wild pitch for Webb City, and Kara Phillips comes in to score. The Tigers win in dramatic fashion, 6-5, and they are your district champs. Nevada will play the Kearney Bulldogs to keep their playoff run alive this Saturday. Other softball scores tonight. The Cassville Wildcats are your district champions as they beat the Doniphan Donettes 7-6 on a walk-off RBI by Nevaeh Johnson. This is Cassville's first district softball title in school history. They will play the winner of the game between Fatima and Blair Oaks this Saturday. Well, the votes are in, and you, the audience, have selected the Frontenac Raiders for our Performance of the Week. Following our press box show there, Frontenac beat the undefeated Parsons Vikings 10-8 thanks to a late game winning field goal by kicker Aiden Hill. The Raiders improved to 6-1 on the season. They will face the Galena Bulldogs on the road this Friday night. Last note here, the Division I AP Top 25 poll came out today for men's college basketball. Here's a glance at the top 4 teams. The Kansas Jayhawks are the number 1 overall team in the country to begin the season. The only other Big 12 team in the top 10 would be the University of Houston Cougars, who are one of those Big 12 newcomers, and they are ranked number 7 to start the season.
All right, well, go KU.
Yeah.
Congrats to all those softball girls. I know that's a tough loss for Webb City.
Yeah,
such a close game,
right.
too.
And
but
in Neosho, another tough loss, tough
Yeah.
pitcher to hit. But, 2 of our 4 teams tonight, they got the job done. Congratulations to Cassville and congratulations to Nevada, especially to make that comeback after being down 4-0. Really impressive there by the Tigers. And, only one more win from either Cassville or Nevada. One more win for either one of them, they'll be in state.
I've been enjoying watching all the highlights you're getting, definitely. All right, we're back with more news after this. Today, Disney celebrates 100 years since its founding, but it's also facing a number of mounting issues. Fox Business Network's Ashley Webster has more on how Disney is dealing with its growing list of troubles.
100 years after it all began in a back room in Hollywood in 1923, all is not well today in the Mouse House. Even with acclaimed CEO Bob Iger back at the helm, it has been a struggle for the entertainment giant. Disney is burdened with a dying TV division. Its streaming service, Disney Plus, has lost more than $2 billion so far this year and is losing subscribers as it tries to raise prices. Its movie division, suffering from a string of box office bombs. Its remake of Haunted Mansion and an Indiana Jones sequel failing to even earn back their budgets. Adding salt to the wound, Disney World is reporting lower attendance, while still in a legal battle with Florida over its self-governing agreement. All of this has definitely hurt the stock price that has fallen more than $100 a share since February of 2021. Disney's market cap has dropped 56%, or $200 billion in just the last 32 months. So the question is, where does Disney go from here? Earlier in the year, Iger announced plans to cut 7,000 jobs and shrink the company's annual costs by $5.5 billion. He also pledged a massive $60 billion investment in Disney's theme parks and cruises division, and there are expectations that dividend payments will resume by the end of the year. But analysts say the future will also likely involve a yard sale for Disney assets, potentially the TV division, including ESPN and ABC. And if Disney becomes a leaner company, it will ramp up the speculation of a potential buyer coming in, someone perhaps like Apple. It's been mentioned before, What a blockbuster deal that would be. In Florida, I'm Ashley Webster for the Fox Business Network. Back to you.
Well, coming up, as it starts to feel more fall-like, we'll have some new home entertainment options for a cozy night in. A live-action blockbuster, a popular Disney ride turned movie, and rock legends are among the new digital DVD and music releases available to add to your home library. Fox's Kristen Goodwin runs down the list of what's new in home entertainment.
This is the best day ever. Greta Gerwig's billion-dollar blockbuster tops this week's list of what's new in home entertainment. The live-action Barbie movie stars Margot Robbie as the iconic doll alongside Ryan Gosling as Ken.
I'm not afraid of a couple ghosts.
Haunted Mansion is based on the popular Disney attraction and centers on a family trying to get rid of the ghosts haunting their new home.
We call him Dracula.
The horror film The Last Voyage of the Demeter tells the story of the doomed cargo ship where Dracula is stowed away.
If we have to, we will fight alone.
The historical drama Golda stars Oscar winner Helen Mirren as Israel's first female prime minister, Golda Meir, leading the country through the 19-day Yom Kippur War in 1973.
All I want to do is play.
Dennis Quaid and Colin Ford star in the feel-good drama The Hill. It depicts the real-life story of Ricky Hill, who overcame a debilitating condition to become a Major League Baseball player.
I still get a bit nervous every time.
A deep-sea diving trip turns into a fight for survival for two sisters when one of them gets trapped 28 meters below the surface in the thriller The Dive.
The royal family is in genuine crisis.
Small screen favorites to own, Season 5 of the Netflix drama The Crown focuses on the royal family's life from early to mid-1990s. And Season 1 of the Paramount Plus spy series Rabbit Hole, starring Kiefer Sutherland as a private espionage agent framed for murder. For music fans, Blink-182 released their new album One More Time, their first record with Tom DeLonge, who rejoined the group in 2022. And the Rolling Stones released their first new album in 18 years, Hackney Diamonds. In Hollywood, Kristen Goodwin, Fox News.
Gotta love the Rolling Stones. That's our time for tonight. Thanks for joining us. We'll leave you with video of animals at a Washington zoo playing with pumpkins. Why not? Have a great night and an even better tomorrow.